Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi everyone, in this video I will explain the material about types and form of poetry. But first, let me introduce myself. My name is Radiva Zaharatul Umah. You can call me Diva. This is my midterm assignment, Introduction to Literature with Miss Leni Marlina. The first material is form of poetry. Form is how we describe the overarching structure or pattern of the poem. Form of poetry refers to physical structure of the poem. There are the length of lines, rhyme, rhythm, and repetition. Generally, there are two modes of form in modern poetry, especially poetry in English. There are closed form and open form. First, closed form. Closed form poetry is more structured and governed by specific rules or pattern. Closed form, also known as a fixed form, consists of poems that follow the pattern of line, meter, rhyme, rhythm, and stanzas. There's example of closed form. First, blank verse. Blank verse is one line pattern, it doesn't have a stanzas. 2. The couplet. The couplet is two-line stanzas which is usually a rhyme. 3. The tercet. The tercet is a group of three lines. If rhyme, they usually keep one rhyme sound. 4. The quatrain. The quatrain is distinctiveness lays in its heavy use of rhyme. 5. The sonnet. The sonnet is distinctive structure of 14 lines and uses heavy rhyming. 6. The epigram. The epigram is a short poem which ends in a witty or ingenious turn of talk. 7. Limerick. Limerick is a 5-line of poem that consists of a single stanzas. An AABA rhyme scan and whose subject is a sword. Second, open form. Open form poetry doesn't have to follow specific rules. Open form is very free. This style of poetry might use a small element of form poetry. There are examples of open form. First, prose poetry. Prose poetry is a type of writing that combines lyric and metric element of traditional of poetry with idiomatic element of traditional poetry with idiomatic element of prose, such as a standard punctuation and the lack of line breaks. Second, visual poetry. Visual poetry is a written poem that creates a visual image that relates to its meaning. A visual poem may use space between words and letters, breaks between lines, and even alternative spelling of words to produce a visual effect. Third, concrete poetry. Concrete poems are objects composed of words, letters, color, and typefaces in which graphic space play a central role in both design and meaning. Concrete poets experimented boldly with language, incorporating visual, verbal, kinetic, and sonic elements. Okay, we move to type of poetry. First, lyric. A lyric poem is a short poem expressing the thought and the feeling of the speaker, typically spoken in the first person. Second, narrative. A narrative poem is a type of poem which tells a story. Narrative poem is typically longer than other forms of poetry. They tell an overarching story just like a novel. Third, dramatic poetry. Dramatic poetry, also known as a dramatic verse or verse drama, is a written work that both tell a story and connect the reader to an audience, thought, emotion, or behavior. Fourth, didactic poetry. Didactic poetry is poetry that aims to inform, instruct, and improve its reader rather than just entertain them. This could be in a form of a valuable moral or life lesson, a rule or instruction, or even knowledge about religion, astrology, art, science, and other important subjects. That's all for me. Thank you for watching. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye bye.